Hi, I'm Kyle from the Shift Open Finance community, and today I'm joined with Tom from Satago, who's one of our amazing Shift Plus members. So let's go straight into it.
Yep.
Tell me a bit about Satago. What do you do? What problems do you solve?
Sure. So we've been around in around London and UK about 10 years now. We're a cash flow management piece of software. We call ourselves a 3-in-1. So we enable SMEs to have insights into who they're doing business with, automated credit control. So what I couldn't believe when I started was that people are manually chasing invoices. We have a piece of software that can chase it for you, frees up people's time to do things that are more productive. And lastly, invoice finance. So whenever I mention that, I get some frowns off people. Traditionally, it was like the last resort. We can onboard clients really quickly now. We take a digitized approach to try and speed up the process and make it actually a real form of finance. So with the likes of open banking, which we'll talk about in a bit, and access to or integrations with accounting data, we can pull through real life data that enables people to know what money they can get access to as and when they need it.
Why did you join Shift in the first place?
Yeah, so I mean, we think, I'm sure you've heard this before, that we've got a really good product. And actually it has a meaningful impact on SMEs. I mean, if you look at one of the biggest killers of them, it's poor cash flow. It's working with suppliers who take, you do the work for, but they pay you late and you're continuously chasing. And SMEs, mum and pa shops, they need to get hold of that money and they're actually going under because of it. So our software, across the board, the 3-in-1, will enable them to know who they're doing business with, so they can make more informed decisions. So should I be working with this person, should I not? Be more proactive when actually chasing them. That's that. The credit control, freeing up people to do other things with their time rather than just chasing invoices. And lastly, getting hold of money as and when they need it. It can sit in the background with our single product for months at a time. If they don't need the money, they don't need the money. But as and when they do, it's there.
That's perfect. I'm with you on that support as well. There's so many SMEs that struggle with cash flow management, so it's such a crucial tool that we need. Now, within Shift, we're very passionate about open banking, open finance, open data in general. Me, myself, big fanatic for it. How does Satago kind of fit in with that, with your open banking?
Yeah, so it's a massive part of what we do, to be honest. I think if you roll back, having to send a few years, probably not even that many, having to send manual statements, accounting data to a bank who will then look at it over a period of time and then let you know. The chances are, you're talking maybe plus 30 days. You needed the money in considerably less than that. Yep. With that data, we're able to do most of the heavy lifting. So actually, rather than you putting it all together, we've got it, and it comes through constantly. So we can make decisions to lend quicker, and also in management, it makes it easier for us and the banks and financial institutions that we work with to keep an eye on what's going on. But the main thing is speed. I think when people come to us, and the reason why invoice finance has lost out historically, or other lending products have been more preferred, is because people know about things like overdrafts and stuff like that. Yeah. Invoice finance, they kind of know what was on the tin, but invoice finance is better for the right person. So it's open banking just enables us to move way quicker than we'd otherwise be able to.
Perfect. So no paper forms, no emailing, a lot less manual.
That's it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Perfect. That's
environmentally friendly. Actually, I should have had that one.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, that's true. Less printing.
I'm sure that's why we set out to do it.
And there's no ink. It just makes everything easier. Yeah. I hate having to print something out. When I still get letters from a bank, I'm a bit like, oh gosh.
Especially when you can get all the information on an app or a laptop or whatever it is, but they still say that they need to send you out a paper statement. Yeah. Feels we should have moved on by now.
Exactly, and it hopefully is going to progress throughout the whole industry as well. But so Satago, you've sold me on that idea. It's amazing. Now, it's 2024. What's the big ambitions, aims? I've heard about a partnership with Lloyds. I don't know how much you can tell me, but it'd be good to hear about what your ambitions are for this year.
Yeah, so we have an amazing partnership with Lloyds. A little bit what I mentioned already. So we're helping them digitise their offering. I think, not Lloyds specifically, but I had another conversation with a bank recently where they said they would love to be able to service SMEs and support them, but it's just not commercially viable. If you think about the people that are involved with an invoice financing traditional team at different stages, it's a huge amount of people and effort that goes into that. The software that we have can remove a lot of the bottlenecks and admin that's needed to take place. So yeah, that's what we're doing with Lloyds. That's pretty amazing. It's rolling on. We also have a pretty cool partnership with Sage. So we have an embedded solution with Sage, so customers can access the tools that we have, the risk insights, the credit control, but also invoice financing, all within Sage's platform, and they don't have to leave. So the trust is there, the ease is there, and we're finding that take-up rate's really good there. So those are two partnerships that are keeping us pretty busy. At some point, possibly going international, maybe this year, maybe not, having early conversations with that. But really kind of getting the word out there. Like I mentioned already, we think we've got a really good product, but it's you guys at Shift Plus that can really get the word out there with the connections and the introductions that so far have been great. That's where we really want to kick on in 2024.
Awesome. That's brilliant to hear. Those are some amazing partnerships. I can see the Sage one being so useful. Just, again, as you said, it's less manual forms. It's less dealing with different providers. It's all in one. And what you alluded to there, Shift Plus. So that's where we provide success management services for fintechs to help with your introductions, your brand awareness. And I believe Nav is your success manager, who's absolutely amazing.
But to that.
Yeah, perfect. And it'd be good to hear from you. So you've kind of said a bit about how we've already helped you, but how do you feel like we'll be able to make 2024 even more effective for you?
Yeah, I think that there's an awful lot, and I'll probably miss bits off here. Sorry, my memory's not great. But Nav's kind of guidance, introductions as a standard have been amazing. I think that the contacts that you guys have in big banks and financial institutions so far, and this is very early days, have been great. I think what's also helpful is another set of eyes that are external to our company. We put together decks that we think are really meaningful and helpful and clear, but someone with a fresh set of eyes coming in and saying, oh, I would word that slightly differently, just so that we make sure that everyone's totally clear on what we're trying to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's been great too. But even like the community side, like the other events that you're doing where you just go along and you have a conversation with someone, those things, they add loads of value. And you never know who you're going to meet, but you're mixing in the right sort of groups, which is what we want to do. But really creating as much awareness as possible, and hopefully you guys are really well placed to do that for us.
Yeah, we hope so too. It's awesome to hear, and Nav will probably watch this, so I'm sure she's going to love what you said about her. Yeah. And it's really nice to see you at events, and especially when I met Sinead quite a while ago, CEO of Satago. It's just amazing the culture you have within your team. It's really impressive, and I definitely think we can help each other grow, which is going to be awesome. And talking about growing, now thinking wider than Shift, wider than Satago, talking about financial services in general, what are some innovations that you're excited for in this year, next 5 years? What do you think is really going to change the game?
Yeah, I think machine learning is something we talk a lot about at Satago. It's making sure that the businesses, the SMEs who need the support, get provided with the right products and what they need when they need it. That's a massive one. I think that I touched on it earlier, but customers traditionally, or the most common type of finance for a business, is an overdraft, which can fit people perfectly, but actually it might be a really expensive form of finance depending on how you're going to use it. So an understanding of what's going on in their accounts, what's their spending pattern, how do they work, and actually providing them with the best solution rather than the one that we think is most straightforward or is the only one that they know. Yeah. So I guess really understanding the client and be able to pick the perfect product, because it might not always be invoice finance, but there's a fair amount of time where we don't even get, I guess we're not in the right conversation, the right room really. People just discount us and say, actually, no, that's not for us. It's expensive, or it's really costly, or it's time consuming.
Sure.
But actually, that's not the fact anymore. So yeah, that's what we're excited about. That's what we're trying to work on.
Perfect. No, it sounds awesome. I definitely think we need to look at it a lot more holistically. It's so easy to go into our niches in financial services and go, okay, yeah, we know this is good, this is bad. Yep. Whereas nothing can ever be really ruled out. Invoice finance, it doesn't work for a lot of people, but for the people it works for, it works well.
Yeah.
And it's those conversations we need to have. It's quite interesting you said there about allowing people to see more of the data, because one of the core missions of how Shift was set up was open finance. Which allows people to not only see their banking data, which open banking does now, but also see their pensions, also see their savings, so they know what position they're in and can be better suited towards what loans they need, what financial management they need personally. Yep. And is that quite relevant for you if open finance does eventually become true? We've been wanting it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's allowing people to make informed decisions. That's kind of like a theme that we're running on, with the right information and the right tools provided and products provided to them. Yeah. I see that being a massive part of what we do. We've just got to create more awareness. We do an awful lot around education about what it is, it might not be right for you right now, but this is what it is and when you need it, and how to get access to it, because it's considerably easier than people would think. And that's where like relationships like the one we have with Sage are amazing, because we get to be put in front of thousands and thousands of businesses who are now starting to benefit from just having a healthier cash flow and access to finance as and when they need it. You know, a lot of businesses aren't aware that, you know, it's business to business, which is, I mean, I think the SME market's around 5 million in the UK, roughly. That's a huge set of customers that at the moment banks are struggling to service just because it's so costly to manage those smaller deals. Well, we're hopefully going to come in and be able to make an impact on that. You're
dealing with the bigger players, the financial institutions, to be able to reach the SMEs, because you think that's the best way.
And because at the moment they can't do it. They can't deal with them because it costs too much money to deal with a 10 grand deal. They only deal with 500 grand plus, as an example. It's
harder for you to access a wider market. It's harder for them to access you independently. And this is where I think fintech and FI partnerships fit in amazingly, because financial institutions, they are slow. They're not going to innovate like Satago can, but that's not a bad thing. I don't want them to be too quick. They are beacons of regulation in the UK. I know when I'm logging into my Lloyd's account that it's going to be safe. I'm not going to get conned. I know what's going on there. Yep. And then the fintechs like yourself come in with these quick innovations and can move so quickly. And that's why you need the partnerships, because banks can't and shouldn't move that quick. But fintechs create these innovations which everyone needs. So it's about bringing the best in financial services through trusted suppliers to the SMEs and the consumers that need it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's Sinead has. I don't know how long it took her and how many meetings, but like it's amazing to start working with Lloyds, and they've been fantastic so far. And hopefully that relationship just continues to grow. But that's the first, and we've proven we can do it. We have the technology now, so it's. If it can work for one, it can work for many, and it's just expanding those conversations and having as many as possible. Awesome. Not just inside the UK as well. There's conversations going on around the world.
Awesome. That's an impact I think we can all get behind to support the SMEs. And is there anything else you wanted to say whilst we're here to the audience? Is there anything you want help with in the new year that you can reach out to? Is there any way people can get involved with Satago or support the mission?
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to be trying to get out and about as many events as possible. We have got a few good demos and sessions lined up. Again, creating the awareness there. We have various different solutions. We can be flexible as a partner, but that's kind of the main aim as we see things. Our two primary focus, I guess, outside of accounting software providers is banks, financial institutions. So either greenfield, so banks that are interested in working with or accessing customers through invoice finance that don't do it at the moment, or digitising existing offerings. Some banks, have been set up and following a very similar process for 30 or 40 years. Arguably a lot's changed, and we can support them with that.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming. And as I said before, I've been Kyle from Shift Open Finance Community with Tom from Satago, one of our amazing Shift Plus members. And I hopefully see you and see everyone else at an event sometime soon.
Cheers, Kyle. Thank you.